Okay. So I am gonna, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just get it back. So I'm gonna ask you to mute yourself, and then I'm gonna introduce Fanus and ask if he will be okay to start. And then Fanus, I know there's a lot of light on top of you, so I don't know if you can move a little bit behind that. Right, I know you also load shedding. I understand. Much
Okay.
I think it's a little bit better. Can you see it's a little bit better? Perfect, perfect. So I
Okay.
actually want to introduce Fanus to you. Sunit, if you can
Just
also put
move
your,
around a bit.
okay.
Okay. Yes, right. It's a lot of light here. Okay.
It's okay.
Hi, everyone.
Sunit, if you can also mute yourself, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, beautiful lady. So I am very happy to announce Fanus to be our male celebrity for this week. So this week, our theme is self-worth. So ladies, how many of you feel that you're not worthy? So that was one of the things I struggle a lot with. I struggle a lot with. I had to start with that relationship with myself in the mirror. And I had to keep on telling me, Sunit, you are enough. And when it was time for me to do this session, the first, I always look at my ladies first. My cousin that will come back just now, she was the police in the police force for so many years. And I know she's a power woman. And I knew I wanted her to come and talk to us. And the 5 minutes interview, I knew I had to ask Deborah, because I normally have my spreadsheet open, and then I pray to God to please bless me with the right people. And sometimes people need to know or need to find out some information, but I'm sure Fanus is going to tell you what happened when I phoned Fanus and I said, Fanus, your name and your beautiful face just came up. And I think I phoned Fanus in April, and I said, April, and your name has come up. Will you be able to come and talk to us on self-worth? So I am so privileged. I don't know you that long. I only met you last year, and you made such an impact on the group, Fanus, and not just on the group, but on me as well. So thank you for being part of my life. And then if I can give it all over to you, and we will see how we can go for with the load shedding. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you very much. Yeah, self-worth is one of is my journey, or the road to self-worth is the road to being feeling worthy of myself is one of the things that I had to battle and I had to go through. So it's a topic that's very close to my heart, because I know from experience how it feels not to be worthy, or not to be worthy of yourself, and to think, sell yourself short, and to think of yourself as, I'm not that great of a person. So self-worth is a journey towards or discovering you are a worthy person, you are an important person in your own eyes, is a journey to wholeness, because we all want to be whole. We all want to be, I cannot use the word perfect, but we want to be whole in a sense. We want to be complete people. And self-worth is your own sense of your value as a human being. And that's important to realize you are valuable. Doesn't matter what circumstances you are going through, it doesn't matter what people say to you. And sometimes people can be cruel and say the cruelest things to you. But if you realize your self-worth, then you will know that you are an important person. The author Joe Campbell said, you can be the most beautiful person, and everybody sees light and rainbows when they look at you. But if you don't know that yourself, it doesn't even matter. Every second you spend doubting yourself, every moment you spend in self-criticizing is a second and a moment of your life wasted. So ladies, do not waste any more moments of your precious life. Realize that you're a worthy person because God created you in his image and he created you worthy. There are three closely related concepts then: self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. How you feel about yourself is your self-confidence based on your mood, your circumstances, and the approval of others. Uh, and your self-esteem in psychology, the term refers and is used to describe a person's overall subjective sense of worth or value. And then your self-worth is deeper than the two that I mentioned. Your self-worth lies in your belief system about yourself. So it's very deep, it's very intimate. And if you have a low self-worth, and most of us from time to time struggle with a low self-worth, you have a low self-worth of yourself, it is caused by childhood abuse and trauma. It's caused by neglect, growing up in poverty, alcoholic or sick parents, and divorced parents. And the second thing is it comes from negative core beliefs, like I'm unlovable, people don't appreciate me, everyone else is better than me, I am broken or no one can repair and help me. So why is that important? Self-worth impacts your decision-making process, your relationships, your emotional health, and your overall well-being. The 12th century mystic Meister Eckhart said the following. He says, the eye with which I see God and the eye with which God sees me is the same eye. One seeing, one vision. And that truth is applicable to everything because the eye or the experience with which I see the world and everyone around me is the same eye with which the world sees me and everyone around me sees me. In other words, what I'm feeling about myself inside, I am projecting onto the world. That experience of myself that I live with every day, I'm projecting that onto others. And what I get from people then is the feedback of what I'm projecting. And sometimes if I don't feel worthy of myself, people will pick that up and people will see that. And people will judge accordingly and people will react accordingly. So that's why it is so important that we work on our self-worth. How can I change my self-worth? How can I become a whole person? And I recently sat down with my coaching practice and with what I'm doing, and my theme is to empower people. And then I realized, but what are you empowering them for? And it came to me all of a sudden that I'm empowering people to become whole. We all want to be whole. We all want to be people that is enjoying life, that's making the most of life, and are productive and wholesome people. But sometimes things happen in our past. Sometimes things go wrong in our past, and we are deteriorating in a sense. We are becoming this unwhole people, this people that uh, reacts out of anger or hurt or uh, hurt feelings. So the most important thing that you and I need to realize at this moment is that I can change the way I see myself. I can change my self-worth. It needs work. It needs a transformation process. But each and every one of us can be involved in this process of transforming ourselves from this little worm I see and experience, and I get the feedback from people of this little poor worm that I am, to being the most beautiful butterfly and the most beautiful person that the world has ever experienced. In fact, you owe it to yourself to be this beautiful person. So the first thing that I need to do, and you need to do, is go inward. Explore what is inside and work on what is inside, and be brutally honest with yourself. That's your spiritual practice. That's the practice where you sit with yourself, connect with yourself, and just experience how you feel about yourself. Be brutally honest, and don't deny your feelings about yourself. Don't say, but my feelings doesn't matter. Then the second thing is, do not allow the expectations and opinions of other people to determine yourself. In other words, it doesn't matter what people think. It matters what you think. The Bible says, I am that I am. It's the most important words that Jesus ever spoke. It said, I am that I am. I'm not what people say of me. I'm not what people think of me. I am what I am. It is your attitude and your self-worth that you alone can determine. Nobody else can do that for you. Then the third thing, and it's a thing that I have worked with and experienced a lot of in my life, is to give yourself a space for grace. Treat yourself with grace. We are so critical. We are so heavy on ourselves. But the most important thing you can be, before you can be gracious to anybody else, I always say that the Bible speaks a lot about grace. And God gives us grace. But have you given yourself grace lately? How do you treat yourself? Are you critically on yourself? Are you always nagging yourself about the things that you've done wrong, about the things that you couldn't do? Or would you just create a space, a small little space in your own heart for grace? How do you treat yourself? Be gracious to yourself. Stop the voice of self-criticism and allow yourself to make mistakes and correct them. You can always correct the mistakes. You can always do things a little bit better today than yesterday. But live in the present, be here now, and give yourself that little bit of grace. And the fourth thing, which is very important, is to speak to your subconscious mind in a positive and affirming manner. manner through prayer, through affirmations, and through mantras. It doesn't matter, but do not speak to yourself in a negative and disaffirming way. Always affirm yourself, because nobody else will do that. People will run you down. People will not always understand you, but you know who you are. Joseph Murphy, in his book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, said a beautiful thing. He said, you must make certain to give your subconscious mind only suggestions which heal, which bless, which elevate, and inspire you in all ways. Remember that your subconscious mind cannot take a joke. It takes you at your word. So whenever you speak to yourself, whenever you pray, whenever you have a quiet moment and your thoughts are going, and usually that's the time when you start criticizing yourself. Stop that immediately. Stop that thought. Stop that negative thinking, and start speaking to yourself in a positive, in a healing, in a good and inspiring manner, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Normally, with the critical voice and the critical thinking, we start speaking to ourselves negatively. And we are building this pressure cooker of negativity inside us. But the problem is that that pressure cooker will explode. If you're in a situation that is too pressurized for you to handle, somebody puts pressure on you, or circumstances puts pressure on you, and you keep it inside, it will blow. But when you speak to yourself in a positive and an affirming matter, what is inside will come out. What is inside will come out. And if you forgot all I said, remember this. My dear, in the midst of hate, I found there was within me invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found there was within me an invincible calm. I realized that through all that, in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. And that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me or within me, there is always something stronger inside. And Albert Camus said that. And the last point I want to raise is healing your self-worth by loving yourself. Loving yourself. The famous Dr. Hugh Len of the Hawaiian, he was a Hawaiian doctor, psychiatrist that healed an entire wing of a hospital with psychology patients. And he healed that people using 4 little words, 4 short little words. And that 4 short little words is a very well-known Hawaiian song called Ho'oponopono. And that 4 little words is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I thank you. That 4 little words, every morning when I wake up, when I look at myself in the mirror, I say that 4 little words. And that 4 little words are so important if you want to heal yourself and become a whole person. And that is what that's my story. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry I had to show you. I don't know how long you wanted to go on, but if you go on, then we will not get the ladies in. But I just want to say, Fanus, thank you so much for that. I know when I found you, you were like self-worth, and then you told me this afternoon you actually had to go and investigate that, because that is exactly what you needed to find out and look for yourself. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And ladies, will it be okay for you if Fawn is still with us for a little while? Fawnus, you can actually stay if you can. If the laptop is or the cell phone is going off with the load shedding, you are welcome to go. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your wise words. And I know that it comes from your heart. Thank you so much. So my beautiful, beautiful Deborah, she is the only one from the USA today. So I know a lot of the ladies said today is 4th of July, they're not coming. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for inspiring us. You are coming back I think in a few weeks that you will be doing the 20 minutes for us.
Yes.
And I know that I've booked another session, I think by the end of the year as well. So you are a lady that is so amazing. You have helped so many people to write books, not write books, but to publish, to put, right. to help them just be themselves. You have inspired so many people. You've inspired me. I'm really privileged to be able to know you. So I am very excited for you to continue, my beautiful Deborah, on self-worth. I am going to give it all over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel honored to be here. When Sunit asked me to do this presentation of self-worth, I didn't hesitate to say yes. I've experienced major changes in my life, and I felt I was handling them quite well. You see, my husband died in March of this year, and the aftermath of his death has given me an eye-opening awareness of who I am and my value. Because I was so busy taking care of him, I really never really paid attention to my self-worth and my self-esteem, because I always moved forward with helping others, getting their book projects done. And, and that's where my satisfaction came from, when we completed a project and the book was published. Through social media, I chronicled my experience being a caregiver with my husband. And as because I wanted to share with the family really what it involved, because people really don't see what's behind the scenes. And so it wasn't that I was putting it out on Facebook to show, no, but to share. And that's all part of understanding who you are and having the strength and the confidence to share the hard parts of your life. So it's not a surprise when something happens to the loved ones, the ones that they may not call all the time, but they see around the holidays or, vacations and things like this. But really not being afraid, having that self-confidence that you can share the pain as well as the joy in your life. Now, I've been self-employed for 37 years. So I have a history that I wasn't even aware of that was growing inside of me. I'm not going to repeat anything Fanus said. He basically had my presentation. So what I'm going to do is really share my walk with how I became who I am. And it is the most important thing. You grow from helping someone else. When you may not realize the strength that you're putting into your heart is your reservoir, and you may not realize the strength that you're getting because you're in the middle of this craziness, but it does happen. As I said, been self-employed for 37 years. I worked in corporate for 17, and I was blessed to come up during the time of affirmative action. Now, that may not sound great for a lot of people, but there were a lot of changes in the 60s and the 70s. And as a corporate staff person, they were putting us into training programs to elevate us to management level, which was not done. It was unheard of. So I'm a product of that affirmative action training to learn communications, computer programming, consulting. So those are skills. That's my skill base and that's my foundation. And as you look at yourself and your experience over the years, what type of skills and tools have you packed into your little bag, that you can call on, and not only for yourself, but to help others? Looking forward, I was, when I was putting this presentation together, and I'm really off track, so put your hand up when it's 5 minutes, because I'm a talker. As I was presenting, preparing for the talk, I asked myself, when did I gain the level of self-worth where I'm recognized as somebody to talk about it, And so I really looked at the definition of self-worth, and the cousins are self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-respect. And when you examine how all of those four attributes fit into your life, you'd be surprised. In 2019, I began building a marketing program, and I named it yourinnerconfidence.com. And I put it together because I realized the people who I were working with, they're first-time writers, and they were very nervous and insecure about writing their books and telling their stories. So we take a breath, and I cannot pronounce the Hawaiian prayer, but I also do that, where we forgive ourselves. We thank, it's just an amazing story about how focus on what's important to you. Last year, 2021, I was going to take the month of April off to really decide what I wanted to do. Prior to that, actually, let's jump back to 2020. In 2020, I was writing a journal, and I do this still. I write I do my devotional early in the morning. I write a journal, and I tell the Lord, this is what I would like to do today. This is what I would like to do. What do you expect me to do, right? So on March 31st, 2021, I'll never forget this. I wrote my journal to the Lord saying, these are the things I would love to achieve during the month of April. I don't know exactly what I want to do. And sorry, that was 2021. See, he's got me all over the place. In 2020, he told me I was born to win, not retire, doing my journal. And I'm not saying that retirement is a losing thing. No, that was my message for me. I had too much to do. I couldn't just sit back and watch Judge Judy and all the TV shows, Netflix and things like that. I had too much to do. So I wrote the book Born to Win, Not Retire, just outlining what I've done and why it was important. And the reason why I was focusing on retirement, because I turned 70 in 2020. And everybody around me, they were retiring, going off on trips and things like that. And my husband's health did not allow us to do that. So I worked and took care of him. And so my thought process, well, should I stop working and just full-time, take care of my hubby? So he said, nope, got too much for you to do. So again, I had to take a look at myself, do an assessment of what I really truly wanted to do. Fast forward to 2021, that's when I wanted to take the month of April off. I said, okay, Lord, I went through this year, I went through the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. What do you want me to do? Very clearly, I heard him say, and this is why it's so important to put prayer in your life and have a devotional time where you can really dig deep inside of what's going on to you. Clearly, I heard, learn to be still. And that's because I'm the energizing bunny all over, helping everybody, with their problems, taking care of my husband, taking care of everybody else, taking care of my clients. But he said, learn to be still. I said, okay. Next day, wrote, this is what I want to accomplish, this blah, blah, Lord, what do you want me to do? Learn to focus on now. So find us what you were saying, focus. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on what you want to do, not what everybody else is telling you should do. There is no shoulds. It's your life. And I can tell you, life can go just like that. And day 3, clearly I heard, learn to follow the desires of your heart.
Mm.
It's okay to help others, but put yourself first. That's your self-worth. That's where you can see value in yourself, where you are sure that what you're doing is pleasing this little child. I have a little child that I write about. My inner child is called Emma. So I make sure Emma is taken care of. I went through childhood abuse, and I had, I had a really high, not drug high, but I had alcoholic high life in the 70s, and, did all the wrong things, but the Lord brought me through. And I'm being personal about this because you need to see, somebody who's been through a lot. And if you ever read my books, or you will know my story. But I have a lot of confidence in what I'm doing because I value myself, and that's self-worth. Valuing yourself, valuing your thoughts, and your thoughts, oh my God, they are your enemy. Get rid of the ones that are saying, yeah, 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 yeah. The ones that are saying, oh, that's good. You're beautiful. That's right. You're handsome. You're smart. That's a great idea. Those are the ones you listen to. The other ones, I learned something years ago. I think this is where the pituitary gland is. And I was taught right here between your eyebrows, tap, tap, cancel, 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 whenever a bad thought comes into your mind. And I tell you, that really helped me. I'm serious. Cancel, cancel. Muscle memory. Your muscles remember, well, cancel, cancel. Get rid of those thoughts. I write everything down. If I'm having a bad day, I write everything down to get all that garbage out of my head. And then I can focus on the fun things, like born in the USA dancing and not feeling like I'm a fool, just enjoying life. That's what the Lord wants us to do. He made us to have relationships. Relationship number 1 with him, and relationship, that's what the cross is. He and I, relationship. You and I, relationship. Just love each other. Love yourself first, though, but love each other. How am I doing on time?
Well, a little bit over, but that's okay.
Okay, good. I told you I can talk.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My camera is picking up my hands because there's no other light. It's just there's too much light here. But instead of, I normally tell people if they say something ugly towards yourself or say, oh, I'm stupid, I've teach my clients to say, no, first of all, pull the words in and spit it out, because that is not a good.
There you go.
So Karin, the person that's going to speak for 20 minutes, but we will have to make it a little bit less now. She just dropped off, so I'm sure she is coming back. And I'm sorry, Deborah, I would have listened to you the whole time.
That's okay.
As well with Fanus. We could have gone on for a longer period, but I also had to make sure that my time was also, for the power. But Karin will probably come back just in a few minutes, but I cannot wait, Deborah, when you come back for your 20-minute session. I really cannot wait. So while she's not in, I will ask you to continue. And then when she pops in, I will just introduce her, if that's okay with you, Deborah.
Me? You want me to keep talking? Oh, sure.
You can keep talking until she comes back. I know that she's also.
Can I put my contact information in the chat for anyone who wants to follow up? Okay.
Please. Yes.
Okay.
And also, I'm gonna ask you to do something on the Facebook page as well. After our session today, when I do the recording, put the recording on, I will also ask you to introduce yourself there, and so that people can start following you. Okay, I believe if we follow each other, we can learn from each other.
Thank you. So I really appreciate that. So somewhere during the 55 years, my past 55 years of being out of high school and everything, the seed of self-worth came into full bloom for me. It was like and I call it a seed. It's like a seed that grows in the dark. You don't know that the tree's growing, but it's being nourished. And that's when I was working on this the presentation for you, I realized that seed's been growing for 55 years.
Wow.
And it has blossomed and bloomed through the different people I've helped. You know, they've gone on to be self-confident and grow their own business. And so inside of you, you know, just what I would really challenge you to do is do an awareness assessment of your level of the things that you've accomplished throughout your life, whether it's personal or business, and just see that, hey, you know what? I did great. You know, I forgot about I did that. You know, I forgot that. Oh, I forgot to help that person out. But you need to remind yourself you are more than what you may think you are. You know, you are someone who God has a purpose for you. And it's a matter of just finding that purpose and staying on that path. Yeah, the path goes left and the path goes right, but there is always a straight path that you can travel on until it's interrupted. And I've had a lot of life's interruptions. And in fact, that's the book I'm writing right now is Joy Comes Through Life's Interruptions. And it's basically, you know, you're going along, everything's great. You're feeling great about yourself. And then somebody says something sideways. Oh, man. So you have to have a trigger that, like Sunit said, you know, don't do that, because some people in public, you know, you can do it in private. I think mine is a little more dainty. Cancel. You know, but find something, one little trigger that's going to pull you back to, you know, your realm, your area of safety, because it's so important. I have to tell you, there was a period that I did not have this level of self-confidence, self-worth, awareness that I have now as of today. Like hats, I love hats. And I started posting every day a different hat with the hat telling a story. You know, find something that, you know, be a kid. I tell everybody, I don't act like a kid. I am a kid. You know, I love to laugh. I love the joke. You know, I never learned how to ride a bike. So maybe that's one thing before I go home to glory, I'll learn how to do. But I love life. I mean, I love life. I appreciate it, especially seeing my husband go through what he went through the past year. I totally understand how easily the lights can flicker out on us. And so, you know, just be true to yourself. That's basically what I'd like to say.
Oh, thank you. So I don't know if any of you, Fanus and the ladies, Junita, Sunit, or Lorraine, have any questions for Deborah or for Fanus. And then if not, then I want to tell you guys a little story. Oh, I'm sorry. My camera is, I don't know what it's the light. It's the light. Is there any questions for Deborah or Fanus? Oh, yes, Junita.
It's not a question. I just want to commend them on wonderful presentations. Really, it's been fantastic being in your audience this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Junita. So, ladies, this weekend I went with my husband to the archery. We went to Potchefstroom. And that is even colder than where we are here in Kempton Park. And I met a lady there, and she was like over the moon. She said she never met a person like me, and she didn't even believe that I can be. She called me an earth angel, because I saw this lady was a little bit down. And, you know, I just had that, I couldn't speak to anybody, and I just talked to her, and I don't know how we got to it. And she said, was there one thing in your life that you were very disappointed, especially because we were talking about the grandchildren, and her grandchildren are also in New Zealand. And I said to him, you know, in the beginning, I had only 18 months to lose the weight. For me to lose, I lost 75 kilograms to be able to be illegally to go to New Zealand to work. And then I would have gone to New Zealand on the 12th of April, 2020. I had only 2 months to get a job there. Otherwise, you are in that area that you are too old now. And, you know, COVID happened, 26th of March, the New Zealand closed their borders. South Africa closed 27th of March. I couldn't fly. And, you know, I know COVID was a very big thing, but for me, it was also a bittersweet thing, because the one thing I have worked so hard to do, because I thought in myself, if I could hug my grandson every day, if the power is in me, and it was in me to lose the weight. So I can just tell you guys that this weight journey, I would have never have done it, was it not for my grandson, Zander. And you know, with me, with such a disappointment, not the COVID, but the time run out, because I thought maybe they're gonna open the waters in April or May or the beginning of June. Never knew it will be going on for so long. So my window of opportunity to be permanently in New Zealand was gone. So I always used to joke, I was first too fat and now I'm too old. But in reality, it was very hard on me. The one thing that I thought I could control, God has shown me, Sanet. But I can tell you, 18 months later, I was in America. Never knew I will do America. Never knew I will be doing what I'm doing. Looking back at the bigger picture, I knew that God was in control. Yeah, are you my Karin? So Karin, I know load shedding is a problem. I'm very sorry. So I'm going to quickly give it over to you. I just want to tell the ladies and Fanus, my beautiful cousin is in the police force for so many years. She was always like my power lady. She's almost the smallest in all of our cousins. She's the smallest in stature, the biggest heart, and she can control big men to listen to her. So for me, this week was so important to have her. And Karin, I will bring you back. I promise you I will bring you back. But I'm going to give it all over to you, and we will see how long we can go without the power. Is that okay, my beautiful cousin?
It's okay, yes. The power is off here, so the generator, I don't know, it just keeps on dipping now. So yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Karin. Yeah, not the youngest cousin of Sanet, but almost the youngest. Yeah. Yeah, your sister is younger than me. Yeah. 6 months. So self-worth, what does it mean for me? I've also been through a lot, and it's for me at that time, was it the moment my knees hit the ground, it's when I started to feel God's grace upon me. And every day you just get, I won't say tougher, but you get stronger. And one of the most important things for me about self-worth is to have boundaries, to set boundaries and to know when to say no. If your body can't handle it anymore, or your emotional state, don't say yes just because you're a people pleaser. You have to be able to say, no, I cannot do this at this moment. Please let somebody else do it, because there are a lot of people that can do the job, but there's only one of you that goes home, only one of you that needs to be there for your family. And another thing, codependency is to make everyone around you happy so that you can feel happy, which is also very not healthy. Like Fanus, sorry, I can't see your name, but I can see it now, said, for yourself, you must be the most important person, because if you are empty vessel, how can you top up everybody else if you are empty? So first top up on yourself, learn to say no and set your boundaries. That's it.
Wow, Karin. And I wanted to, can you tell the ladies and Fanus, you are very long in the police force, and you had to deal with a lot of men that didn't think that you can speak or do anything on your side? And how did you show them differently?
Okay, the most of the men I had to work with was rapists, and it's quite difficult because you also want to strangle the person, the perpetrator, having raped a 6-year-old girl. So mostly I just go into autopilot, if you can say it like that, shut off emotion completely. And I usually take a man with me. For the people in South Africa, ek noem hulle, ek vat vir my 'n pakkie spiere saam.
She's
So that
taking
they-
muscle with Deborah. She's taking muscle with her.
I'm taking a man with me, a policeman with muscle, because the men on doing violent crime can get violent towards a police lady as well. So I usually, I don't talk much to them. I just let them know this is why you're here. This is usually my sentence. You know what you did, you know why are you here? And then usually they'll start to cry and say, but oh, I didn't do it and whatever. And I said, I didn't ask you what you did. I'm telling you, I know what you did, and that is why you're here. So now you can choose. You can either tell me your side of the story, or we can wait a week and you can go to prison and you can sit there for a week and wallow there. I will oppose your bail. And then usually it works. And then they, not all of them, but most of them, they are, yeah, I think they call me the bitch with the yellow hair. So it's gray almost now. Yeah.
Yeah, and
yes.
also the police force, the men that work with you, because I know that you have got this, you know, the way that you handle even them, you know, that they listen to you, they want to know more, you know, they really value what you have to offer them.
Yes, they do. Thank you. But it's something that you learn, how to handle certain people in certain situations. But yes, it can get emotional working with the victims, and you have to have more empathy than sympathy, because if you have sympathy, I've had too much sympathy sometimes when you get involved emotionally into some victims. So it's better just to have, I said, that boundaries, and to be to take care of yourself first. Fill up your own tank before you can fill up someone else's, to just be there for them and get them through this.
And I totally agree. And I know that you cannot talk too much about the police force. I know that. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite song? If you can just help me with the name, then I can see if we can dance out with it.
Oh, I've got so many. I love Def Leppard, but the new song, not a new song, while we were driving down, I just want to tell you all this. I had my mom stays very far away from me. So when was it? I did think about it in the week, last week, and Friday afternoon, I made a decision that I've got only one mother, but I will get paid again next month. So we're going to pack the car, and 1,400 kilometers. We drove the whole Saturday. We got here Saturday night, 8 o'clock. We left home at 5:30. So here we are in Johannesburg with my mom. And on the way, that song of Ed Sheeran, Bad Habits, because I've got also bad habits. That's not very empowering to myself, but yeah.
This is also my beautiful new grandson, Zayden. It's his favorite song. So let me just see if I can quickly get it. Bad Habits, I think is this one. So before I play it, I just want to say thank you so much, Fanus, for being here. Thank you so much, Deborah. Cannot wait for your longer session. And then Karinkie, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. I will see you on Wednesday. I will come and visit you all on Wednesday. And then my lady from next week, the 5 minutes, she canceled today. So if any of Unita, Sunette, or Lorraine, if you want to come and do the 5 minutes for next week, it's imagination is the theme for next week. Please let me know by tomorrow morning. Then I can take, put your picture in the advert and I will be putting it in. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I am happy to report that my power is still going well. I think I just looked now, it was 47, so I am good to go. So Karinkie, here is your forever song. And I'm going to dance out with that. I hope you can hear. It will start now.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control.
It's gonna pick up now.
I can feel the paradise before my world ends.
I want to jump on my mother's bed, but I think she's gonna strangle me.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. But come on. Hello, go.
California is nice.
Or use or do my best to I stare in space. I say, yeah, I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, my bad habits lead to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Karinkie, you made my evening. A beautiful daughter is with her. And Carla, I'm so happy to see both of you. I'm going to see you on Wednesday. So I want to say have a beautiful week, everyone. Remember that your self-worth depends only on you, nobody else. Have a beautiful week.
Amen.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Karinkie, wag 'n bietjie.
Okay, ek is nog hier.
Ja, Unita, wag ook. Ek gaan nou net hier so stop.